dun. I'm live. This book. Those wagon trains and stuff. That's more what the fellers look like than them cowboys you saw on the television. I'll just say. So if I can find the thing that says how it's looking. I just got this today. I really know very little about the book. It was what do you call it? A library book. In League City, Rock Elementary. I found it a while ago. Yep. 1967. Or 65. Depends on how you read it. I think. I'm going to enjoy reading it. Just the parts that I just kind of skimmed through it here and there. What they're saying nowadays about what the Constitution, the Bill of Rights does, and what this book says they do, are a little different already. I went there and looked it up. It's talking a little different about the way the war was fought. I did read a little bit of that. And there's more to France fighting on our side than I had imagined. I'm just skimming through and reading a paragraph here and there, and it's really hard not to just keep reading. It's actually a real grabber. So, got to get to the 12th chapter before you even get to the America part, or the USA. It's got a whole chapter on the Minutemen. I read a deal a minute ago about a battle I never knew happened. It's just exactly how cocky the British were and how easily they were defeated. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. But it goes all the way from, kind of skims over the Indians. Um, and you know, this is not the stuff even I was taught in high school. I just couldn't come up with a title for tonight's thing, so um, Wayne from Ungrateful Peasant will like this. Which Europeans first discovered America? How long did they remain in America? Why did the people of Europe want to go to other parts of the world? What was the result of their explorations? This chapter answers these questions. Norsemen explored the North Atlantic. In 3 little countries in northern Europe, there lived an adventurous people known as the Vikings. On our map and globes today, these countries are called Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. The Vikings were also called Norsemen. Norsemen who lived in Norway found it hard to make a living there. Blah, blah, blah. Norsemen sailed to other lands. And basically, Norsemen were here first. There you go. Norsemen settled in America. This was established as far back as 1967, yet they still argue about it today. We do not know why the Norsemen quit going. This is going to be fun to read. Now, I'll probably actually do more talking about it after I read it. No, not bothering me. Is the dark bothering y'all? Yes, it talks about how America was settled. Actually, about why it was settled, how it was settled. There's one. Two. Three. There's about much of the book, which is about a fourth of the book, is just on settling. The settling of the Americas. Never guess how much I pay for this. The story of our country with readings is a Harper and Row book. It's not really cool and illustrated. It's got pictures in it. You don't even have to bring crayons or nothing. They're already colored. But I'm really stoked to read this. Probably should have read it before I did this live stream. But, by golly, that's almost frameable. Oh, Indian Wars. No, that's Lewis and Clark expedition. Man, well, I'm way past halfway, and we still in the Lewis and Clark. This ain't about. See, I don't even know how far into now it goes. Cuts off right around the 1900s. I wonder if there's more than one book. Well, this is 5. Now I got to be on the look to see if I can find the rest of the series. Probably, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 and 7 and all them one. But anyway, I guess ain't nobody coming in besides Mr. Ben Eagles, who I hadn't seen before. Ask a question, and I guess he's ready. Anybody coming in tonight? Today's been a slow day everywhere. Nobody in town. Nobody at the cafe. Nobody at my daughter's work. What is this? Nobody does anything day or something? Hold on, let me check. Somebody's. Ah, okay. I'm gonna put Snoop. Why? Because I can. Oh, what happened? Well, that's yeah. Never mind. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, Ben. Um, let's see. Ooh. Industry in the north, gold mining. I think it skims over the part where we starved entire nations of people. I'm talking millions and millions and millions of people. My peoples. They starved my peoples. Well, They run this out of the Georgia and Tennessee and Kentucky. All of them. Then they run us out over them. I am not seeing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it zips right. It zips right over the buffalo family. Um, so no, it's not an actual history book. It's something for reading. Hey, Mark, how goes it? Yeah, our town is famous for having the guy that slaughtered you know, a albino buffalo, or well, our old town. Well, there's historical markers in town, which I'm pretty sure in towns around here, which I'm pretty sure that the towns have given serious thought to taking down. But when they were going around putting up historical markers, they weren't embarrassed by the truth. Uh, the stockyards that were put up at the next to the little creek, you know, that was the settlement was started by a little trading post. Anyway, there was a group of tents, and later on a building that specialized in female companionship, and the it was the most in both Mitchell and Curry County. Those two establishments were the most financially successful endeavors. Uh, San Angelo, same thing. I digress. Okay, Mark. Hey, Tibor. The most of the towns that were established prior to 1900 were literally built around a whorehouse. And here, a lot of the little towns and stuff, they have placards up stating as much. They're not scared of it. They'll never they'll never let get buffaloes. There'll never be wild buffalo in this part of the world again, which is okay with me because they're not like deer or uh, longhorns, or they're not going to go boing 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 and run away. They're buffalo don't run from people. Buffalo don't run from you in your car. The young ones would, if you can spook them. If you walk up on one and yeah, it, you're or one walks up on you, it's going to go bad for you. So Yeah, wild buffalo would be bad. I mean, I'd love to hunt one. I'd take a buffalo a year, or 2,000 pounds, something like that. 1,500, 2,000 pounds. I think they're actually heavier than cattle. So, yeah, no buffalo on the road. I had to drive around a Brangus bull today. He got out. Been out since last night, apparently. Call the sheriff, and the sheriff's like, well, I went out there last night. He ain't friendly. I said, no, he's not. I stopped, thought I'd get out and open the gate for him. I didn't know if it was his gate, but get him off the road. But he started stomping and pawing the ground. I took my hand off that door handle real quick. Uh, I ain't my boy. I ain't gonna die for him. And if you can't see that thing in the bar ditch, then and you're texting while you're driving and you smack a, you know, 2,000 pound bull, that's on you. That's I ain't nobody. Sitting at a red light, well, I pulled up to the red light, or not red light, stop sign, stop, and was checking traffic, and this car coming the other way just blew right through it. Never looked up from her phone. Just blew right through that stop sign at 40. So, yeah, I'd have got there just a little quicker. That would have got a little sticky. Hey, Wayne, you missed the part where I read it where it says that the Vikings were here first, man. Hey, Palmetto, I didn't see you come. Hold on, let me find that again. Yeah, that's going to be hard to do. That's some funny looking clothes. Dun, dun, dun. 34. I cheated. I looked at the. Could have done that a while ago. Just for you, ungrateful peasant. Am I willing to do this? First question posed to be answered in this chapter. Which European people first discovered America? Norsemen explored the North Atlantic. Norsemen sailed to other lands. That's the Vikings. Norsemen settled in America. But yeah, um, this a book printed in 1967 clearly states that the Vikings were the first ones here. See, we got Matt. Where the hell is Spitsbergen? I mean, Spitsbergen. Seriously. This shows them stopping somewhere about Maine, maybe Connecticut. Um, says then Columbus discovered the New World. Uh, Columbus was a bad person. Did I tell you this book is brutal? I mean, it's the illustrations are terribly interesting. I got the part about the Constitution, Mark. I like the way it reads. Yeah, it says that. But it says Europeans. Those were Asians. Anonymous. Gosh. Can't come in the middle of a conversation, start interjecting facts and shit. Indians were the first Americans. That's chapter 1. It says, despite the archaeological and genetic evidence to prove otherwise, the people known as Native Americans were the first to settle, even though the stuff proves that the first ones here were actually the same ones that got to Australia first. Oh, yeah, there's that part. What happened to them? Oh, yeah, all the Indians killed them, all of them, all of them, killed all of them. So anyway, yeah, it's and the Indians got the short end of the stick, but they should have been better at doing business. When they first started doing business, they outnumbered the Europeans. They could have got a whole lot better deal. They were looking for what was best for their people. They were looking for what was best of the top 10% of their people. Sound familiar? It should. On their way west, Lewis and Clark got eaten by Indians. That didn't happen. Okay, no, it says they met some Indians. The nation gained land west of the Mississippi. One where you bought it from. That's a quiz. Where did America acquire land west of the Mississippi? From what nation state did they acquire land west of the Mississippi? Somebody's got to know that. Don't say the name of the land, just what country. No points, no extra points for being smarty pants and taking away my next question. No Googling. Google, if you Google, you can get the same grade as if you use that Grammarly crap. An F. F. You can't write your own paper, you don't deserve a grade. You're supposed to be in school to learn how to write, not to learn how to let a computer write it for you. Why is everybody getting so stupid? Because they don't have to be anything else. That's why. They were better at farming here. We didn't know anything about the climate or what would grow here. So there is that. Well, good evening, men. I am glad also. Nobody knows that we got it from the French. Seriously? Do I have to answer that? We bought it from France. Now then, now that you have a clue, what was the name of the land that we acquired west of the Mississippi? Actually, with the advent of the time they got here, they were so dependent on uh, wick powered hand cannon or arm cannons that the Indians actually had a long range advantage in the fact that they could inflict 10, 12, 15 arrows per musket shot. And, you know, a guy with an arrow stuck in his arm can't reload his musket. Had they have wanted to kill all of the European, and they hadn't been scared of the hand cannons. But you know, we're not talking about that, Walter. We're having a happy go lucky talk about back in the day. We're talking about all this gloom and doomy. And up to here with Canadians calling our country a democracy also. If you're Canadian and you want to talk about the US, don't. You don't understand the way we are. All you're getting is what the news says. We're not a freaking democracy. We're a constitutional republic who has who have elected to put it into their constitution that we will have a democratic form of election for representatives. But we are a constitutional republic. The authority isn't in the elected officials. The authority is in the people, and that is it is governed. Their limit of their power is the Constitution. It says that in this book. Don't don't be a Canadian and tell me what kind of country we live. We are in and to be honest, the guy that said that and set me off was saying we were better than Canada. He's right, but a lot of them are just like me, 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 like they know us, like Canadian preppers. Shut up! You don't know. We're not the same. We're basically both Americans. No, you're not. You're Canadian. Uh, you might as well still say God save the Queen or King. Okay, I don't know. It's usually calling somebody. None of you people know what it was. I mean, you have to look at the book. We got it from the French. Most of the state speaks some form of hillbilly ass French. The state used to run damn near to Canada. Actually, it did go all the way to Canada, I think. Thank you, Tibor. You Googled it, didn't you? But yeah, losing purchase. The only bigger purchase was uh, flipping Alaska, and we got burnt on that one. All we got was mooses and mosquitoes. Southern Alaska by the coast is actually nice. And it's got rough winters, but that's when people go to Alaska. That's where they go. Nobody, they don't go to the interior. The interior, that's just scary. Yeah. Oh, you was replying to what did well, we bought the lead purchase we bought from the French, and it was actually uh, the French and other European fur traders. You trust them what? They're they were French settlers, and they got left behind. They chose some stuff. And after the purchase, they were American. They were American and had to leave. Yeah. They were rather isolated, and they are unique to the southern portion of Louisiana. I don't know if y'all know it, but I talk kind of funny. So I'm talking. Um, because Britain thought they would sneak back in, come up through the south, and retake the southern part of the United States because the southern part of the United States was the most productive and financially viable part of the Americas for the time. And again, now there's a whole actual money being made, product being produced, stuff actually going out into the world that is worth money. Again, most of it coming from the South. When we lost Detroit and a few others, we we the North lost their actual industrial advantage. More stuff gets exported from the South than it did from the North. I'll still get the import. There's a lot of money going around up there, but they don't actually make anything. Yeah. Still didn't change the fact that the fur traders, the people in charge, they were fighting with each other, and they put a bounty and to put instead of ears, you cut ears off anybody. They wanted you to bring hair, so you bought the scalp, and then they could tell who the hair come from. You weren't just bringing me dead Indian ears; you were bringing me that migrated west. With as we pushed Indians out of the east, those that way of counting two or whatever, because it got to where I was, oh well, the Indians say scalp, so we're going to take their scalps, and that was some rich white boy got that crap started. So, good evening, Corsairs. Let's see if it has anything about California. It's the expedition to the Pacific, and Lewis and Clark got there. They realized there was nothing worth the tip south of San Francisco. Apparently, went Oregon. Now I got to read this book. I literally just bought it. There's some settlers fighting with them there savages. The guys in the wagon stunk like pigs. The people on the horses with the paint on and stuff, they bathed that morning. Just saying. Actually, Lewis and Clark didn't even go to California, man. They went up to Portland. So, I don't know. I gotta look at that. See how far they made it. Oh, right here's chapter 18. Texas screws up. Oh, here's California Gold Rush. Oh my goodness. Louisiana Purchase, 1803. Got us some land west of the Mississippi. Hey, how did Canada get back some of Louisiana? That was such a mistake. Ah, the Spanish American War. So When what's his name made it all the way to Mexico City, we should have kept it. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you all the book one more time. It's called The Story of Our Country. I found it in a American Legion Auxiliary uh, garage sale today. Talked with a rather nice young lady of 80 something that still has the uh, her first ever Barbie doll from 1940 something. She's 300 and something Barbie dolls. I was telling her about the one collectible Barbie doll I have, and she was like, I have like 6 or 8 of those. Okay, fine. She goes, they're all different though. She's a lifelong collector, and I just stumbled across it. France gains a share of the new world, and then they sell it because they no can tolerate it anymore. It was getting too hard there. It was getting too hard to trap there, and most of the white settlers that moved into Louisiana Purchase were just first trappers. And some of the problem with the Spanish American War was that the American trappers were going into Spanish territory and um, not paying the tariffs and stuff. They were doing so without permits. They didn't have hunting license or trapping license. Um, there's all kinds of dust ups and stuff back in the day. Man, there was so much fighting back there. I mean, they don't tell us half this, the skirmishes and stuff. Um, I stumbled upon a little paragraph in there a while ago talking about uh, an English settlement and a Briton settlement actually were constantly at war with each other over their boundaries. They were. This settlement will go over there and kill a bunch of the French, and the French will come back over here and kill a bunch of the English. I mean, this is just 2 little towns, man. A few hundred people. I like 25 caliber slugs, but I like them with a whole 06 behind them. 25, 06. It's a flat bullet. Yeah. You zero it at 150, and then you don't you don't adjust from 100 to 200. Has anybody read this book? Anybody care? Has anybody seen anything like this? I don't remember ever seeing anything. Here's the something it's got to say about one little short excerpt of what it's talking about on the Constitution. One thing that nearly everyone agreed upon, and this was when they had the convention in Philadelphia, was that the Constitution should declare which rights the national government could, listen to the way this is worded, the Constitution should declare which rights the national government could never take away from the people. So in 67, they were still teaching that the the Constitution was designed to limit the power of the United States government over the people. They wanted to be clear that the government could not control the right to speak and write freely, the right to belong to whatever church a person chose, and certain other rights that all Americans enjoy. They get kind of vague here. Nearly everyone wanted to make sure that the officers of government, despite their power, could never rob the people of freedom. The men who accepted the Constitution and the state. The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. They protect Americans from the power of the national government by listing the rights that the government cannot take away. I mean, it clearly states it in this. I like this book. The nation goes strong. A guy in a boat with a sword. Toll roads were a thing back in the day. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This turnpike toll gate in Maryland where wagon drivers paid to use the road. I thought that was something they invented in the 60s or something. The steamboat. Just got there's so many cool things to talk about or read about. This chapter here, I'm going to do a book report over chapter 18 just for Steve over at Corsair Trainers, so he'll understand just how cool Texas is. I can't find a California chapter in there. But I have looked. Talk about Oregon. Yes, that's right. I have a history book that says the story of our country. It's a condensed history book. It's actually really cool. I found this at a garage sale thing, man. Paid 50 cents for it. It's like I like it better than my prepper books I found the other day. This thing I didn't want to read. I just want to kill the live stream, go sit down, start on page 1 and read. But it's got like 3 or 4 chapters on Texas and how kick-ass it is, but there's nothing. I can find nothing in here for California. Nothing. The story of our country is set California. What's it? California, the place we made a mistake. Hold on, I'm looking for the index to see if it actually has. California section. Da, 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 da. Oh, chapter 19. Let's go jump over to chapter 19. 3, 6. Well, that's a little short chapter. See what it says about California, man. I may have jumped the gun. They may actually mention you. Who captured California? A part of the American Navy and a few soldiers captured California, which had belonged to Mexico. We see this. I don't understand why we gave Mexico back. We kept anything we could have had. You know how much? You know how much beach we gave up? We could have built that wall down there where it's like really narrow. And then it's not like that wide. You know? A little chapter on California. You get more than an honorable mention. Pretty much. It's almost like it's still part of Spain. But if you go back in newspapers and stuff, do you have any idea how many mass shoot? They used to call it gang violence during Prohibition. Nobody ever dies in Chicago, man. It's like the most peaceful place ever. Y'all have any idea how many young, reasonably intelligent, um, freedom loving young Americans are leaving the country? Y'all get some good stuff over there, and are they? There's no more. They don't have shootings in California anymore, do they, Steve? Y'all got rid of all the guns and stuff. I don't think that happens. They got rid of all the guns in Canada, and I didn't think they had that kind of stuff up there. Well, I used to think Nikki Haley had a plane. I'm not going with that assumption anymore. Like I said, Chicago gave up all their weapons, and all they have now is unicorn poo and glitter. And that's not going to hurt anybody. So it's like same thing. California gave up all their guns and stuff, so now all y'all have are uh, unicorn poo and stuff. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody dies of drug overdoses. Nobody dies of AIDS or hepatitis A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or any of that crap. Anymore. I've got to quit missing Monday mornings. I'm behind the loop on something. Um. Anyway, guys, it was a really long day, so apparently I cannot keep track with the deal, and I'm definitely not on top of my game enough to talk about any of this stuff over here without the killing my stream anyway. So that's a criminal with a gun using a gun to do criminal acts. That's not a mass shooting. That's a criminal committing aggravated felonies. I know nothing about things. I have not been on social media where I think I posted a picture of my skillet, which I'm very proud of. Um, and my book, like bandits today, actually. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm gonna get over here and get a cup of coffee, take my myriad of medications, and go to church tomorrow. The Plain and simple, folks. Government can't do anything we don't let them do. They don't rule us. They work for us. If the government does something to us, it's not their fault. It's our fault. Have these conversations outside of these chat rooms, outside of people who are in these chat rooms agreeing with you all the time. Grow up here. You want to know what I'm talking about? Go back and watch my little short video about, you're like, we can't you cannot defend your liberties, your rights, and your liberties from your front porch. You cannot do it. You cannot do it from inside your house at your front door. You cannot do it by pouring 2 foot of concrete around your entire structure. That's not where it's done. Uh, Time's too short. You need time to play anymore. You want to fix it. You get your asses out there and fix it. Quit talking about what happened last century and do something about what's happening right now. I really do love you people. Y'all still love. Don't die.